it ain't no friend of me.
It ain't no friend of me. We are waging war. What's up out there, family and friends? It's your boy, the motivational teacher to the masses, coming to you with a little midday motivation. And I'm going uncut today. So uncut is where I turn before I get into it, all my replayers, please fast forward 1 minute as I share this out to all of my social media outlets. And then also, if you're out there, please say what's up. I'm starting to see the eyes. Some people are sitting down just waiting for the motivation teacher to come on. Hey, say what's up to me, man. Holla at your boy as I share this out, man. Because this is going to be a conversation. This is me, this is you, and this is us having a conversation. So if you're in here, go ahead and get in that text box. Say what's up. Let me know you're out here. Let me know how your day is going, because I want to communicate with you all. There's so many people that when I hear Ant, they have questions they want to ask. They have some things they want to be answered. So this is the moment. Hey, what's up, Laura? Thank you for joining us. So this is the moment where we go uncut. We're going to have a conversation. If y'all would, please share this out to your social media outlets. What's up, Shamika? Lady Queen, I am. Thank you for joining us today. So if y'all would, please share this. Give me about a minute and a half as I share this out. And I hope everybody's Saturday morning is going beautifully. What's up out there? Oh, that's me right there. What's up out there, YouTube? I got YouTube chiming in this conversation. Thank y'all for joining us today out there. And if y'all would, please type names down there. Please let people know that we have gone live. I know I just popped on. This is kind of impromptu. But, you know, when I woke up this morning, I had this in my spirit. So I decided to go ahead and get on in here and do the thing. So I'm expecting for this to be phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to you all playing a role in it. One more, let me share this to my page, and then we will be ready to rock and roll. Hey, Pat, thank you for joining us. All right, let's get to it. All right, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. So I like to call this is Anthony Uncut. This is where normally when I do my Motivational Mondays, I have a list of things that I want to cover. I have my notes. Hey, Auntie, I have my notes in my head. I've gone through it. I have somewhere that I want to take us. And that's usually my Motivational Mondays. But when I go Anthony Uncut, which I do probably once a quarter, it's when I turn over the reins of what I do to you all for us to have a conversation where normally I acknowledge questions, but like now I take questions. Like I want to know, what questions do you have for the motivational teacher to the masses? Because there's so many people that have so much potential and so much talent, but don't know how to realize that talent. And so I like to create a moment to where we have these conversations, and it's all about the people on the other side of me. And this is most people pay, $100, $125 an hour for my time to do this. And I'm saying right now, I am donating it for free. This is your moment. So let me just, I'm on episode 71 of Awaken Your I Am. Like I have come to the conclusion that the gap between where we are and where we want to be is us. Yeah. Hey, Mom. Good Saturday to you as well. The gap between where I am today and where I want to be tomorrow, whatever that goal, whatever that dream is, the gap between that is us. And the key to achieving your dreams and your goals is allow to great I am to awaken your I am. And so in this moment, y'all holler at your boy out there, get in that chat box. Let's start creating new thoughts, new emotions, so we can have different results in our life. And I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, that success is inevitable for you. Yes, somebody need to go say that right there. Success is inevitable. You will accomplish whatever you were set out to do. You will accomplish it. And it's time for us to understand and believe that whatever doors or whatever windows or whatever cracks or crevices I have to go through to get it, I am willing to do it. I'm willing to put the work in to get it done. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for us to take our level of belief, the knowledge of who I am. Well, I'm about to break bread. The knowledge of who I am to a whole nother level. And I see myself, I hope y'all hear me loud and clear. I look like I'm freezing a little bit on my end. I hope y'all hear me loud and clear out there. on Facebook. Like YouTube now is experiencing a few problems. But ladies and gentlemen, I've been with this company a long time. Anytime that I expect, and I'm telling you this, I expect opposition. I expect it because that we have a true enemy. We have a world system that only wants to keep us average. If you think every day in your life is going to be all sunshine and rain, then you'll be disappointed when you run into the storms of life. Thank you, Shamika. Success is inevitable, Pat. I hear you. It is inevitable for you. It has to come to pass. It has to come to pass. Somebody need to believe that right there. It has to come to pass. And it's about us awakening our I am. The gap that I call it the growth gap. The gap in my life of where I want to be has nothing to do with the external people around me. Hey, what's up, Vaniqua? It has nothing. Hey, Elkie, thank you for joining us. It has nothing to do with the external. Everything to do with the internal. Hey, this is Anthony Uncut, man. If you have some questions, if you have some comments, I really booked this time for you all. I have no set agenda. I have no bread-breaking moments that I know I want to get to. It's just us having a conversation. And if you would, man, if you got questions, you got comments, you got something you want to put out there, hey, man, get in that chat box and let's get to it. Let's get to it. I mean, we have to decide to leave passive. We have to decide to leave average. We have to decide me versus me. We have to decide to leave mediocre. We have to decide to make that our move. We got to walk away from it. We got to choose to leave that stuff behind me, and I got to move toward my destiny. I got to move toward my greatness. Hey, what's up? Thank you for joining us, Tamiko. Thank you for joining us today. I got to move toward my destiny. I got to move toward my greatness. And the only way for me to move is my I am has to be awakened. Without an awakened I am, we cannot change where we are. Motivational teacher to the masses. Motivational teacher to the masses. How am I supposed to get that done? Well, somebody better ask me that question. Somebody better ask me that question, because today, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to start believing that there's more to you than what you just see in the mirror. I want you to start believing that there's more to you than what they just said about you. I want you to know that there's more to you than even what your job sees in you, or what your spouse sees in you in most cases, or what your children. There is more to you than what meets the eye. One of my favorite stories in the Bible is David when he was anointed king at 15 and had to go right back outside and watch the sheep. He's been anointed king. Everything that the king is and the king was is already on the oil flow on David already when he was 15. But as king, he had to go back out there and watch the sheep. Oh, think about the battles that David had within himself. He's anointed me king. Now I'm just sitting out here, a little shepherd boy. And I'm out here watching these sheep, and my brothers, they got all, they down there fighting the war, and the brothers got all the accolades, and they're strong, and I'm a little small, ruddy boy. Think about it. The frustration when you know what you see in your vision versus what I am today. The frustration that he had to struggle with. That he had to struggle with when I wanted to do good. Evil was right there beside me. Like, imagine struggling. I know I see myself as a king, but nonetheless, I got to sit out here with these sheep. What king sitting out there with the sheep? Imagine I think about the president. Imagine President Obama being, I got all the thought, I got everything that the president is, but I got to wait my moment in time. Like, what is the frustration level is? But the one thing I love about David is that David never became average in his everyday tasks. Never became average in his everyday tasks. When you hear people talk about David, they're always talking about how excellent he is. And the reason why I can say that David was excellent, I talked about this maybe about 6 weeks ago, was because when they asked him to take his brother's lunch, he took his brother's lunch. I'm about to break bread. And the challenge for most of us is I see my big vision, but I gotta do the everyday, small, minute, mundane tasks in order to see it through. And the challenge is I gotta sit here like I know there's a restaurant on the inside of me. I know there's a daycare on the inside of me, but right now I gotta keep going to this 9 to 5 that I despise. Yep, you watching the sheep. I know you've been anointed king, and I know you got this big vision, a big goal. You've been anointed king, but right now, how you do those everyday mundane tasks is telling the great I am whether I can trust you with the true riches. I'm breaking bread right now. Y'all better holler at your boy out there. We uncut. Say it again, Marcus. Yes, we uncut today. Got no agenda. I really got no notes. Today, I just want to give you, I woke up this morning and I had this on my heart. I said, man, I'm just going to go uncut. I don't need episode 72. I'm just going on the record today, just saying that we have to become proficient. I'm breaking bread. We have to become proficient in our everyday, they call our daily activities of life, ADLs. No matter what I'm doing during my day, I have to learn how to put my best foot forward and become a person of excellence. I just broke bread right there. And see, we're looking at it like okay, what I do on my job doesn't matter. But I'm telling you, everything David did while watching those sheep mattered for when he walked into his kingdom. It all mattered because your training ground for that big goal or that big dream that you have in your life is what you're doing right now every day. Come on, Lord, keep pushing. I know right now it seems like I ain't getting ahead, and I'm tired of doing the same thing. I've been going around this mountain 5 years. Well, keep moving. As long as you keep going around, just keep moving. Martin Luther King, I call him a mentor of mine. He said, if you can't crawl, he said, if you can't walk, then crawl. If you can't walk, if you can't run, then walk. But all means keep moving forward. I'm telling you right now, the moment we start being intentional about our everyday, our daily living activities is the moment where we start attracting more of what we believe is on the inside of us. The moment I continue to learn, to grow, to add value. I know right now, people, I know, well, motivational teacher to the masses, right now with Corona, my speaking engagement, my live speaking engagements, 1-2 a month now. You think, well, motivational teacher to the masses, it's gone now, or right now that the world has become more busier since Corona, views are down, motivational teacher to the masses, it's 9,000 reasons for me to give myself to not go hard, to not put the work in, to not study. Well, ain't nobody gonna, it ain't gonna show up anyway. Well, it ain't gonna, nobody want to hear me, nobody booking live events. But no, it's in these moments, man, I'm about to break bread. It's in these moments where you write this word down, you validate your gift. It's in these moments where you validate your gift. When you're working, when you're out in the wilderness and you're doing your work, you're going about your work, your daily activities, like you got the masses in front of you. You're being meticulous on your secular job as if you're owning your own daycare. Those are the moments you validate your gift. Those are the moments you don't validate your gift when you got $100 million in the bank. Or when you got $100,000, you validate your gift in moments where it costs you more than what you're willing to pay. You validate your gift, and you say to the great I am worthy of your true riches. Look what you gave me, and look what I'm bringing you back. Come on, man, I'm breaking bread right here. I'm breaking bread right here. You better validate your gifts. It seems like it's so hard, and the bank won't give me money. I'm validate. It's in those moments. My boy David, they said that if they had a lion had taken the sheep. Say a lion had taken the sheep. David went out there and took the sheep from the lion's mouth and slayed the lion. And David, and why is this so profound, and why is this so amazing? Because he was in preparation. that the great I am awakening. David, if you can take care of my sheep, you can take care of my sheep. Boy, did I just break bread right there. Lisa, I just broke bread right there. David was validating his gift to lead people by leading sheep. Man, I just said something right there. What in life right now is the great I am awakening your I am to validate your gift. It doesn't look like what you think you should be doing, but it's that very thing that you're taking shortcuts on what he's using to increase where you're supposed to be. I'm breaking bread right now. Come on, I see some I am worthy. I am enough. You got to believe that. You got to believe that. If it doesn't matter what they believe about you, it only matters. Yeah, now I'm getting people can in this comment box. It only matters what you believe about you. With what they believe about you. It's all about you, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about you. Vaniqua just said, nothing in life that's worth it is going to come easy. Boy, Vaniqua, you just broke bread. Anything that you're not willing to fight for, you cannot have. I guarantee you, somebody that's been married for 50 and 60 years, it came with a tremendous battle. I just broke bread. No matter anybody who's done anything worth having, it came with a tremendous fight. If you're, that's why I call this, we wage war on mediocrity. There is something you have, well, again, you have these people and these marketers, and they say, well, you don't want anything that negative. You want everything positive. No, you have to wage war on mediocrity. If you're not willing to wage war, if you're not willing to fight beyond your comfort zone, fight beyond average, just what Vaniqua just said, this life you cannot have. I love that the promises of God are yes and amen. But if you call by my name, if you're willing to take the small mundane task of life and you start building them and you do them as unto God, you can inherit the true riches. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. In my cracks, I am whole. God is the light that heals. Let me break bread right here. I want everybody to take a moment right here. I'm about to be as serious as I can. It's in moments in our life where we feel inadequate. It's moments of our life where we feel that I'm insecure. It's moment in my life, in my cracks. I like that word, in my cracks. It's moment in my cracks where I don't see myself as the version of who I am. And truth be told, no matter who's looking at me, Laura, right now, we all have those moments where my vision is so big. Am I whole enough to be able to see it through? We have these moments in our life where God, what you really awaken my I am to do something that big through me. And that's why I love that my favorite book says, let the weak say what? I am strong. And let the poor say I am rich. See, it's in those moments where the great I am says that you need for me to work through you to accomplish these things. It's okay to listen to your boy. There are going to be moments where you are going to feel that I'm not up to the challenge. That's natural in this progression. There's going to be moments. There were moments when David saw that, and I'm going to keep using David. When David saw that lion out there, I'm pretty sure he had those moments of doubt. Can I take this lion down? When Tyler Perry was working with TPS Studios, he said there were moments where he almost quit. He said, I'm going to do it one more time. Having moments of inadequate, having moments where I don't feel up to the challenge is natural in this progression. But guess what? It's only for you to understand that in those moments, the great I am is strengthening your awakened I am. You were never meant to be able to do it alone. I just broke bread for some of you all. I just broke bread. It was never, and we're going to always have some of those moments. But it's in those moments where I got to say, what I know to be true. And that's the true test of leadership. That's the true test of greatness. Can you see it before you physically see it? Understanding that all of these things work together for my good. Even my cracks. God is the potter and I am the clay. Even my cracks work together for my good. That's why, man, I used to be so embarrassed to tell my story. I used to be embarrassed to let people know that my dad was in and out of prison. I used to be embarrassed to let people know we grew up in a 3-bedroom trailer, and we didn't have gas lights in the house sometimes. I used to be so embarrassed to let people know that I had this high profile job and I was debt broke. I had more debt than probably for the person that was made, answer my phone and made, significantly less than me. I was probably more debt than that person and probably made 3 times as much money. I used to be so embarrassed about telling my story because I thought people were going to judge me. I thought people were going to look at me for me as that individual. But it wasn't until my I am was waking and I understood that God uses cracks as well. God uses those things that look. I'm gonna break bread right now. God uses the thorn in your side to grow you, or God uses the issue of blood to grow you, or God uses the man sitting by the pool of Bethesda. He uses all of those stories. He used all of those people to display, like, what can you do with an awakened I am? All of those moments, all of those cracks, Laura called it, in your life is part of your story to display your greatness. Don't you hide anymore that you were on drugs. Don't you hide anymore that you were abused as a kid. Don't you hide anymore that you were abused as a spouse. Don't you hide anymore that you stole some things. Don't you hide anymore that you have some mental issue. Don't hide it anymore. Because in your cracks, you find your strength. The moment you release and say, man, I'm much greater than my, boy, I'm much greater than what I went through. You can't judge me by where I was because my I am and where I'm going is so much greater. You take those cracks and that's part of your story. And you got to think about it. Most people, my story is where I'm here now. So I tell it all day long, and you should. And you should. There is no condemnation to those that have been called according to his purpose. If there's condemnation in you, that tells me that you have some areas of forgiveness that we need to talk about. If you still got that little thing that makes you feel like I'm not sufficient, well, I didn't get my college degree. Boy, if it was meant for you to have a college degree to do everything God has for you to do, you would have had a college degree. For the simple fact that you don't have one means that you don't have to have one in order to accomplish the total will. Trust me, all these things work together for my good. Stop. If there's something on the inside that's telling you, well, and we all know, I'm breaking bread. I'm uncut today. If there's something on the inside of you that's telling you that whatever you lack, if it's pulling at you, then that tells me that there's some condemnation in there, that I haven't really fully forgiven myself for not getting a degree, or I haven't really forgiven the person who molested me, or I really haven't forgiven the person that abused me, or I really haven't forgiven the person that stole my money. And that's that, and it's in that moment where God is revealing your heart to you. In order to get into your wealthy place or to get into your awakened I am place, you got to get beyond that small tugging. And I mean, it is small, because even that works together for your good. Man, we got the great I am. Behind the veil, expose me, Lord, my great I am. And it's back there. And come on, Pat, you're taking me somewhere else. And he ripped the temple after 3 days from the top to the bottom. Why did it have to go from the top to the bottom? Because that way you would know that no man, that no man can give you your freedom. It's the great I am, awakening your I am, that allows you to walk free. They said the curtain was ripped from the top to the bottom where no man can reach. Why? The great I am is letting you know that you and him, y'all are the majority. My life delivers and motivate others. Come on, Lisa, say that again. My life delivers. I love that. I love that. My life, boy, that might be coming to a Motivational Monday soon. My life delivers. Man, I'm finna use that, Lisa. Where is your life the most valuable? We Uncut. I ain't got no agenda. You all setting the agenda. Where is your life the most valuable? They said the best coaches, the best, whether it's motivational coaches, whether it's basketball coach, no matter what kind of coach, they say the best coaches ask questions to get people to discover their greatness. My question to you is, where does your life motivate others? What area of your life motivate people to go beyond what they can see today? Come on, talk back to your boy. Your life delivers and motivate others. Your life has significant value on this earth. And that's why you're here right now, ladies and gentlemen, for a time such as this, because your life delivers and motivates others. If you don't see yourself as a resource, we got to change the image that I have of myself. And if I don't see myself a little lower, I know some people gonna get mad at this, and sometimes, but I'm uncut today, so I say what I want to say. But if you don't see yourself, and that's why they say, I went back, I was reading the comments when Nico used to mind, who are they? That was funny. Hey, they say, I'm a little arrogant. That's what they say. But if you knew that you were a little lower than Elohim, than the creative God that said, let there be, and there was, that if you understood that you were made in his image, in his likeness, you would not have limitations to your life. Like, that should trump everything you've been through, everything you've seen. My aunt we are God, small g. The moment you understand, I've been made a little more, and he spoke. How did he spoke to the heavens and the earth, and separated the heavens and the earth, reached down, formed a man from the clay. Everything he did, he was what? Creative. That he didn't have the raw substance of what he needed when he did it, but when he reached down and he's beginning to speak to the atmosphere, things started to happen. I'm just a little lower than him. I'm just a little lower than him. So then, why are we always talking about what we lack? It's time for us to talk about what I see. Man, obviously he saw the light separated from the darkness because what? He spoke it. My question to you is, again, great coaches ask questions. What are you using your creative ability to do? What have you been creating the last 5 years with your words? What have you been creating about your spouse? Oh, he ain't no good. That joker, every time I ask her to do something, I ask him to do something, they don't do nothing. Man, I ain't, why I can't never find no good man, or I can't find no woman that can do everything I need. What are you using your creative ability to do? I'm just a little lower than Elohim. I'm just a little lower than him. I am an heir to the king. I am an heir to the great I am. Come on, man. My question is, again, I'm asking questions. That's what I'm doing on these. My question is, how does an heir to the king live? What makes you being an heir to the king significant? I'm breaking bread right now. What makes you being an heir to the king? Why is that something we shout about? Come on, man. Y'all talk back to your boy. This is what we do on Uncut. Uncut is a conversation. I'm asking questions. Y'all giving me answers, and I'm responding. My question is, why is being an heir significant? An heir to the kingdom, or we'll say an heir to the king. Why is it significant? I'm curious. We all are heirs. Mine said there's benefits to being an heir to the kingdom. There are benefits. My question is, again, we look at the prodigal son, one tucked theirs and one left theirs. My thing is, like, how many of us have said, man, or not just say it, how many of us have not come to ourselves to say, man, I am an heir to the throne? Like how I've been thinking and believing about myself is not where I'm supposed to be. I am an heir. I got access. Only I'll tell you this. I'm gonna give y'all the answer. Being an heir to the king means you have access. That's it. Being an heir to the king means you have access to everything you might need in order to accomplish what you're. One of my favorite and funniest movies is Coming to America. I love Coming to America, man. I watch it at least once a year because it's just funny to me. And I love seeing Eddie Murphy and King Jaffe the Third. And I love seeing that when Simi and Eddie when Arsenio Hall, Eddie Murphy got in trouble in the U.S., that they didn't go to no banks, that they didn't have to go to no loan shark. They sent a telegram back to the king to say, hey, Simi said this, I ran out of resources. Can I get $500,000 in American dollars? They didn't go to the banks first. They didn't go to the pastor first. They didn't go to their boss first. They didn't go to the natural, the worldly way of doing things, the United States culture of doing things. He's an heir to the throne. He went right to his dad, the king, and said, your resources are unlimited. And right now I have limited resources. I need to tap into your unlimited resources. That's the benefit of being an heir to the king, is that you have access. But access is only granted when you go to the king, when you go to the heir. Man, I just broke bread right there. That was some good stuff right there. You're an heir. Laura said to share your struggles and how you overcome them. Hey, one thing I can say about life is you're going to have some struggles. I remember Les Brown said you're either going into a struggle, in the middle of a struggle, coming out of struggle. That's common to life. We gonna have those. But number one, Laura, you asked this question. This is why I am the motivational teacher. Number one, you have to have a sure foundation of who you are. When the winds and the waters come, when the wind and the waves come, your foundation has to be found strong. And my foundation is on the great I am. Like God strengthens me. Like there's nothing I go through that I go through alone. There's nothing that I can't beat because I ain't fighting by myself. I'm an heir to the throne. I have access to resources that I don't even know I need right now. But my Father who's in heaven knows what I need, and I have access to all. Like none of this stuff is a surprise that we're going through. And sometimes I think the human side of us get caught up and we believe that, oh my God, this caught me by surprise. There's nothing that catches the great I am who awakens your I am by surprise. There's nothing. And so number one, you got to be on a strong foundation to know that although I'm going through this, I'm never alone. Number two, you have to understand that all things work together for my good. Number two, like this works for me. I know right now, when my dad died, I remember my Aunt Tessa, I was driving her Montero Sport when I got the phone call about my dad dying in prison. My dad had a heart attack in prison when I was 22. And I remember getting that call, and, you know, my dad wasn't always around, but I think my dad did the best he could with what he had. And my dad did not know who his dad was. I know who my dad is. So just by way of that, my dad outperformed his dad. And I remember when my dad died, there were so many questions that I had that went unanswered. Like even now, there's still questions I have that went unanswered. But even with that situation the way it is, like that didn't catch God by surprise, which I have full faith and confidence that if, I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say this, I have full faith and confidence that if my dad needed to be here when I was 45 to accomplish everything that God has given me, he would have been here to 45 to accomplish everything that God has given me, for God for us to do. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, like it's just our perspective. It's the story that we tell ourselves that either cause us to go up or cause us to go down. We got to change that story we're telling ourselves about that situation that drains our energy. I just broke bread right there. I just broke bread. I could be, oh, my dad never supported me. Oh, my dad won at my game. Oh, my dad did this. My dad did that. I'm telling you, like the story I tell myself is, and it doesn't matter whether it's true or not, the story I tell myself about my dad is that he did the best he could do. with what he had. He did the best he could do with what he had. He never had a father in his life. And so he did the best he could do. So it's my goal to make sure that in his legacy, and believe it or not, I still say I represent, when you see me talk, my dad, my granddad, my grandmother, my great grandmother, they're all sitting here with me. All the experience I learned from them, whether they were taught or whether they was learned. Like I learned, I've never touched marijuana. I've never touched an illegal drug in my life or drugs in my life because I learned from my father's life that I'm never going to do it. So even for that lesson, I thank him that the things that he went through, I saw him go through. I'm not going through it because I witnessed him. Even from his life, I learned that lesson. And so I'm thankful that I'm not going to go down that road because of that. And so the story I tell myself is I thank my dad for the lesson that I learned that he taught me, and I thank him for the ones I did not see. So in my mind, my dad outperformed his dad. And it's my goal to outperform my dad. And that's the story that's my story, and I'm sticking to it because it allows me not to be angry. That's the first time I had this conversation this live. It allows me not to be angry. It allows me not to have no condemnation. It allows me to say, not that my dad didn't love me. It allows me to say all of those things, man. It allows me to be thankful for the time I did have with him. I especially thank my mom for being with my dad. My dad was a kind, wasn't angry. He had a smooth temperament. That's just like me. In pressure, I'm smooth. I got it from my daddy. And I'm so thankful that my mom chose that man through which I came through the earth. So for all of that, I am so thankful because without his sperm cell, without me seeing the lessons I learned from him, I'm not sitting here in front of you all. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I just broke bread. If your story doesn't build you up, you need to change it. Pat just said, my family has experienced so much death in our family. The only word God keep giving me is to trust God even when you don't feel or see him. Trust God, trust God. And in this season, hey, my condolences and my thoughts go out to you and your family, Pat. This whole pandemic era has been really tough on a lot of people. And my thoughts and my prayers go out to your family. And they say I'm very insensitive. So look, I'm trying not to be insensitive. And it's hard to see loved ones that we spent so much time with to exit this earth. However, we all gonna have to cross that passage someday. We all gonna have to cross that passage someday. And with you being left, Pat, now you can pick up the pieces because all those experiences and all those people go with you to help you be a better person. And the way you honor them is to live your life in a way to where it brings God glory, but it brings them glory of how you represented them upon this earth. Like it's always been a passion of mine. It's always, my grandmother, Bessie, died when I was 11. And I remember the conversation my Uncle Lenore is telling me. My granddaddy, Roger, died when I was, I think, he was 104 about 4 or 5 years ago. My dad died. Like even my mom and my aunts right now, I still live for them. Everything that I do, I want them to know that I want to bring you all glory. Like I'm here because of you all. And whether you're here or whether you're not here, I represent you as well. I think I told my aunt the other day, she sent me a nice message. I told her, I'm fruit from your tree. I know physically you didn't birth me, but I'm still fruit from your tree. From the time you cut your little balls off your footies and gave them to me, I'm fruit. My mom, the struggle we went through and all the things she had to go through, I'm fruit from your tree. And I want my life to bring you glory. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. See, and man, y'all sending the motivation teacher, Pat, you sending me to another place. Until the moment when you're willing to die to you and realize that your life is not about you. And I love the fact, my condolences go out to Pat, but she was talking about all the people that has gone before her. Like, my life is not my own. Man, I'm telling you, my life is not my own. The moment you come to the conclusion that your life is not your own is the moment you can be free and understand that, man, this is really not about me. It's the great I am, strengthening, awakening my I am to do all that he accomplished me to do. This is not about me. And I'm telling you all, when I got free, and I could tell my story. With the moment when I got free is when I realized that in order to find yourself, you got to lose yourself. I just broke bread. And too many of us are holding on to that version we found 20 years ago. We're still trying to hold on to that version we found 20 years ago. And the great I am, it says there's more to you than what you found 20 years ago. Where you found me is not where you going. Is not where you're supposed to stay. We saw Jesus teaching in the temple at 12, but when he came back at 30, he was the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So he wasn't, when we found him at 12, he was not the same person at 30. Like at some point, we have to evolve. We have to evolve. And most of us are not evolving. We are sitting in one mindset, right where the mindset we came up with. We have not evolved past where we were 20 years ago. And we sit here and want to go, why can't I get ahead? You're not evolving. And the reason why we're not evolving is because you still see yourself as you saw yourself. You're not, in order to find yourself, you got to lose yourself. Like this version of who I am today, in order to attract the masses, I got to be willing to lose him. I have to be willing to lose him in order to find the next version of who I am. I just broke bread. You can't continue to hold on to that version of who you are today if your goal is to get more out of life. I started the conversation off, you got to cover that growth gap. You have to cover it. I got more people chiming into this conversation. My mom said, this is life changing. Let me see who else up here. I needed this. Pat said, I needed this. Living for my mom. I got to keep her legacy. Come on. I mean, that's real life, ladies and gentlemen. Like I've always, like my last name is Williams. That there were a lot of Williamses before me. My dad's last name is Neal. There were a lot of Neals before me. I not only represent myself, I represent my granddad Roger Williams. I represent him. My grandma Bessie, I represent her. My mama Margarita, I represent her. My daddy Anthony, I represent him. My grandmother Eva, I represent her. And this, when you see me sitting here, you look at one physical body, but there are many parts. Blink, there are a cloud of witnesses pulling for you. Sometimes we need to understand that this life is bigger than me. I tell my kids all the time, like right now inside of me, I have grands and great grands that I'm living for. That the decisions I make today affect my grands and my great grands. They do. So when you sit here, just know you see the experiences, or I'm talking from the experiences of many people. That Anthony, I'm a made man. Man, can I tell you, there's no such thing as a made man. I'm telling you right now that you sit on the backs of all the people before you and understand that you fit in that chain somewhere, and there's somebody that you're supposed to be carrying up along that chain with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I just broke bread. You're never alone, Laura. There are a crowd of witnesses pulling for you. And whether it's negative or whether it's positive, and you think about, well, I didn't have the best home life, or my mom never really supported me, or my dad never supported me. Well, guess what? If they never supported you, you didn't need their support to get where you're supposed to be. Maybe it's that part of your story or part of your lot in life is to help other people in that same situation, to inspire them with your story, with your gifting. Maybe that's what it is. If you didn't have it, you don't have to have it. I just broke bread. We got to move beyond that place, because beyond that place is where everything lies that you've been asking, you've been praying, and you've been working so hard for. But the moment we step outside of who I am, I mean, look, Eminem wrote a song, I think it was called Lose Yourself. Eminem wrote a song called Lose Yourself. And he was talking about in the song where the first time he did a battle rap, and he couldn't think of the words, and he started throwing up his mom's spaghetti, and then he got to thinking about like his daughter growing up in the trailer park, and his daughter not gonna even know her own dad, and he used that as motivation to hit the first bar. And I'm telling you, anybody great had struggles along the way. Nobody falls on top of the mountain. Anybody that's doing anything worth their salt has struggles along the way. It's up to us to overcome that thing in our life that easily besets us. I just broke bread, man. I just broke bread. There are a crowd of witnesses pulling for me. Yes, there is, Laura. A whole crowd. Pat said, I need those words. This is life-changing information. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to pop on today. I know it's midday motivation. I have to go coach a basketball game next. I'm telling you, man, my life is consumed with coaching. My life is consumed with, and I'm going to say it this way, incremental improvements. Most of us want a big jump. Life doesn't happen in big jumps. Hey, what's up, AJ? My son just hopped on. AJ or Christian? I think that's AJ. I'm not sure which one it is. That's what keep me going, my struggles. Hey, man, you just said something strong right there. DD, thank you for joining us, bro. The struggles make you stronger. I'm glad y'all just said that. I got to hurry up and give all this thing. My struggles make me stronger. That's what keep me going, are my struggles. It's funny, man. You know, when Corona went on, you know, there was no gyms. All the gyms were closed and you couldn't get in the gym. And, you know, the first time I went back to the gym after it ain't never over, but was safe enough to go to the gym, I went back and I tried to get on the bench press. And on normal, I could probably do 305 pretty easy. I got on there and I was struggling with 205. I could barely get 205 up. And I mean 225 up. And it took me multiple attempts going back in the gym before I was able to get back to 305. It took me 2-3 months before I was able to get there. But in the process of me getting there, I had to struggle in order to improve that bench press. And the only way for you to get stronger in your life is having these struggles. Like I'm telling you, the person that has a life with no struggles is a person who's living who is living paycheck to paycheck, who's barely making it. Because this is one thing that's true. Everybody's gonna have struggles in life. Make no mistakes about it. The type of struggles you have is based on the type of life you're living. Check this out. Even the CEO of Pfizer has struggles. Or I was talking to somebody really high up that they have struggles with kids and family, and everybody's gonna have those. But you know what they're not struggling on? How to pay their light bill. They're not struggling on whether they're gonna have food in the refrigerator. They're not struggling. Everybody is going to have struggles. The type of struggles you have depends on the life that you're living. Like everybody's gonna at some point feel a little inadequate. Am I able? That's just part of the course. We got to learn how to get beyond that. Well, this happened. I feel that sometime when I'm in this moment in the past, this happens. We got to get beyond that. We got to get beyond that, right? Because the great I am is strengthened our I am. In the moments where we have those struggles, that's when the great I am say you need to include your partner. Include your partner. You in a tag team right now. All right, God. All right, God. Right now, I'm gonna walk through this valley, but understand it's just a shadow of death. I'm gonna walk through this valley of this shadow of death. I will not fear any evil, because thy rod and thy staff is with me. It's in those moments where I prove my armor. I got to have the struggle because I don't know how strong I am without it. It's in the struggle where I prove my armor. David wouldn't ever known we wouldn't ever known David if it had not been for Goliath. Because in that moment, he had to be that strong to take the giant out. These struggles prove boy, that's a whole nother motivational Monday. Man, your struggles prove your armor. You want to know if your armor is tight? You got to go through a struggle or two. You want to know if you're capable of inheriting land? You got to fight a couple of battles. David had to fight to accomplish, no matter. Tyler Perry, 8-10 years, had to fight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all a part of the process. It's what you make out of them that makes you stronger. You just said it, Vaniqua. You don't get strong without the struggle. You said that too. We don't get strong, so embrace the struggle. Every storm of life that I see, I know I am about to go higher. Like even right now in my personal professional career, I'm experiencing some things, a couple of setbacks. I experienced some setbacks, but I sit here and I look at it. I said, man, I am on my way to a higher level. I am on my way to a place that where even these struggles can't slow me up. And when I see it, I say, okay, God, this is another way for us to be creative. This is another way for us to have ingenuity. Because guess what? If you don't have problems, you don't use ingenuity. I just broke bread. You don't think of different ways. You're not solution minded. You got to have problems in order to become solution minded. It wasn't until the coronavirus, until DoorDash, until all of these companies start becoming. It wasn't until people start creating, like Chick-fil-A still. Chick-fil-A, my favorite. Chick-fil-A still doesn't have process on the outside where you get and I was out of there in about 8 minutes. They figured out a process to where to create 2 lines and 1 line over here where you get it, and then they show cars pulling in and out. But they figured out a new process. Why? Because of the coronavirus. Their business model will never be the same again. And until we're able to we'll never change. I just broke bread. And thank you, Aunt. Embrace the challenges so you can get to new solutions. I just broke bread. Stop looking at it and trying to do it the same way you've done it last year. I did it like that 2 years ago. No, that's where God was and not where he is. I'm breaking bread right now. D.D. Anthony Williams, I applaud you, bro. You are a great mentor. Keep grinding. You know it, dog. Hey, like I said, man, it's so many people. It's so many people that sacrifice for me to sit in this seat. That it's my job to sacrifice for others to sit, and there's whatever that seat is 5 years from now and 10 years from now, it's my duty, my job to sacrifice so they can get there. I have to, come on, Pat said, I have to be strength to let my family know God is here. The great I am is alive. I am the example of his work. Ignite my faith, Father. Pat, it's already ignited. For the simple fact that you realize what you have to do means that it's been ignited. It's ED, not ignite. Ignited. It's past. It's already ignited. Now it's time to put in processes and procedures daily to make sure that you're strong enough to carry that weight. Yeah, I just broke bread. To make sure you're strong enough to carry that weight, because for the simple fact you've realized the problem, that now you got the solution. You got the solution. Allow the great I am to awaken your I am to use you as a beacon of light to the rest of your family as y'all go through these challenges. Somebody got to say, hey, I'm going to be the Abraham of my household. Meaning that when it comes to mental health, or whether it comes to physical health, or whether it comes to financial being, I'm going to be the Abraham of my house, meaning from me, many nations will come. Abraham of my house, meaning from me, many nations. I got to be the one to lay the foundation. I got to be the one to lay the foundation. So when I go, my great grandkids to talk about what my great granddaddy did a long time ago to give us this start, or give us this lot, or to give us this mindset that we are more than conquerors. That I'm telling you, man, we've been built to fight. I'm telling you right now, man, I've been on this thing. We have been built to fight. If we didn't have to win some battles, he wouldn't have ever told us we were more than conquerors. So suit up. He didn't tell us about no armor for nothing. We've been built to fight. You are a Spartans, unite. Who remember 300? That dude took 300 men and took down the whole kingdom of Persia. You have been created. You are more than a conqueror. You have been created to wage war on this world, and on everything that easily besets you. You have been created to fight past mediocrity into your greatness. You've been created to that. And this is your moment in time, ladies and gentlemen. This is your chance. This is your moment to where you step out of your comfort zone and you begin to wage war on mediocrity. And say, man, what I was yesterday, I will not be today. You got to own that. What I was yesterday, I will not be today. I will be better today than I was yesterday. Whatever got me upset yesterday will not get me upset tomorrow. I will be better tomorrow. And I'm leaving tomorrow where it was, and I'm leaving yesterday where it was, and I'm stepping into today with fresh and new mercies every day. I just broke bread for some of us. I am the source. I am the plug. Revelation. Thank you this morning. You are it, Pat. You control it all. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm 55 minutes in this thing. I got to get ready to go coach some basketball, coach some kids, get them out here, I teach them about life through what they love to do. That's an amazing thing, because all these same lessons I'm talking about right now, I teach them that through dribbling a basketball. We will not be the generation that shut up and dribble. Our voices will be loud and will be heard because we're speaking the truth. Somebody hear your boy. If you have not, please go to my YouTube page and follow me on YouTube at Williams Inspires. If you have not, please like me on Facebook at Williams Inspires, and on Periscope, Waging War 32. Again, y'all have been phenomenal, especially on this little, I just dropped in today. Tomorrow we have Bridging the Nations at 9 EST, 8 CST. So y'all join us tomorrow as Lady Queen I Am and Antoinette Marie and I break bread. So y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and until next time, I am challenging you all to wage war on mediocrity. I'm out. It ain't no friend to me. Wage war.